Intros are so boring. I mean, like, honestly, I don't even want to do an intro. We all know that the MCU is soft rebooting after Secret Wars, and I don't need a whole intro explaining that. What I do need a whole intro explaining is why I've been gone for half a year, and I'm honestly not going to do that either. Just know that I'm probably going to pull some shit like that again. With all that being said, please subscribe to my channel. In all seriousness though, I went back to my old philosophy and asked myself, would you rather be a bee in a tree or a snake on a rake? Snakes on rakes prioritize lessons over comfort. They take risks to achieve something greater. Bees in trees, on the other hand, well, they're essentially just bitches. I knew I had to be a snake on a rake and finally start working towards things that I want to achieve. You know who else is a snake on a rake? Van Cost Shorts, TTG Cash Out, that was my street name back in elementary school, by the way, and CJ25. Those are the 3 newest subscribers to the channel. Subscribe if you want a shout out. Also, just before we start, the audio quality probably sounds really bad because I don't have an adapter and I cannot use my microphone, so I'm just, recording on my computer speakers. Well, with all the important stuff out of the way, here is my pitch for the MCU reboot. The first movie of the rebooted universe would be the Fantastic Four: New Frontier. Since this is the first time we see the Fantastic Four truly living and settling down on a universe that's not their own, we deal with the consequences of having to leave that world behind. To most of the MCU characters, this soft rebooted universe is still technically 616. But to the Fantastic Four, their universe is fully dead, and that definitely takes a toll on them. The film follows Molecule Man as the main villain. Owen Reese used to be a down-on-his-luck security guard at Roxxon Energy Corporation, but somehow, during the convergence to Battleworld, then the reconvergence into the new Earth 616, Owen's body changed on a molecular level, giving him godlike powers. Owen finally felt seen on Battleworld. He was given a job as Doom's steward, and finally felt like his life actually had meaning. After returning to the nothingness of Earth 616, Owen attempts to use his powers to level the universe and reconstruct Battleworld. Aside from that, the main focus of this movie is the relationship between Ben and Reed. Ben is the one who's taking this situation the hardest. Not only did he lose his girlfriend, Rachel Rosman, he also lost the feeling of normalcy. When I say that, I'm not talking about how this new universe feels different. On Earth 828, Ben was embraced as a hero. He was finally seen as Ben Grimm and not the Thing. That's all taken away in this new universe. The public is afraid of the Thing. Ben blames Reed for not coming up with another way to save their universe. In the third act, after a tense confrontation between Ben and Reed, Reed breaks down and cries for what seems like the first time ever. Reed says that he's constantly felt guilt for everything that's happened to the family. It broke his heart to see what he did to Ben. So to make up for it, he made the Fantastic Four superstars. He made sure that people looked up to them instead of seeing them as freaks. So now that this new universe has taken away everything they loved, he doesn't know what to do. There's no equation to solve how people feel about you, and there's no way to fix this. Ben forgives Reed, realizing that none of this is truly his fault. And in the final fight, Ben sacrifices himself by confronting Molecule Man, tearing away at his weak psyche and causing him to collapse on himself, leveling an entire vacated city block. But it's only a fake out. It's revealed that Ben somehow survives, and by the end of the movie, he finds Alicia Masters. Spider-Man would also have a cameo, visiting the Baxter Building and having Reed run tests on his new black suit that he got during Secret Wars. In the post-credit scene, Reed returns to the Baxter Building one night to see a figure standing in the shadows. The figure tells Reed that he's become part of a universe that he knows nothing about. A universe that's still in danger. He just doesn't know it yet. Reed asks who he is, and the figure steps out of the shadows, revealing a man played by Miles Teller, who responds, Tony Stark, Iron Man. This is meta in multiple ways. Not only does it reflect the first post-credit scene of the old MCU, it's also Miles Teller, who of course used to play Reed Richards. The next movie is The Uncanny X-Men, and since I'm not sure if I'm going to be continuing the Beyondverse, the plot of this movie is just going to be the exact same plot of the X-Men movie I had planned for the Beyondverse. Every single mutant would be recast. The idea that some of the Fox X-Men could stick around post-Secret Wars is just incredibly stupid. all of the X-Men would be younger aside from some of the mentors. Mutants would be completely in hiding at the start of this movie, and the X gene is pretty much a myth to the general public. Xavier's school is simply just an academy where mutants are sent by worried parents who want their children to be safe. At the academy, the young mutants are taught to keep their abilities hidden and under control. Iceman begins to develop a serious illness due to a rare second mutation in his X gene, causing Professor X to take him, along with a small band of other young mutants, to Muir Island, where they visit Moira McTaggart to find a treatment. Once at the island, Charles finds out that Moira has been living with Magneto and his 3 children, Scarlet Witch, Quicksilver, and Polaris, which somehow leads to a fight between the X-Men and Magneto's family. The fight causes a protective chamber in Moira's lab to get damaged, unleashing her son, Kevin McTaggart. Proteus is the main villain of this movie. As a kid, he was locked up due to his extreme power draining energy from and slowly killing his mother. He learned that his power made him dangerous, causing him to strongly believe that Omega-level mutants like him shouldn't exist. Proteus escapes from Muir Island and attempts to wipe out all 10 Omega-level mutants that currently live on the planet. Since Magneto himself is an Omega-level mutant, he joins Charles and the X-Men to stop Proteus. In the final battle, Proteus takes over Cyclops' body, who attacks Iceman, one of the Omega-level mutants. Jean Grey is able to subdue Scott and defeat Proteus in his mind, but not before Scott kills Iceman. The whole battle is public, leaving mutants and the X-Men fully in the public eye. Bobby Drake's parents go after Charles, saying they trusted him to keep Bobby safe, and he got him killed. The Department of Damage Control, led by Henry Peter Gyrick, shuts down Xavier's academy and starts to go after mutants, creating an army of Sentinels to hunt them down. In the post-credit scene, Magneto is seen in some form of a jungle setting, wearing a new all-white suit. He's standing in front of Proteus, who's been captured in a power-dampening chamber with his energy being siphoned somewhere. He then turns around to greet Moira McTaggart, who just arrived, saying, "Welcome home." We zoom out and reveal Krakoa. Alright, these next ones aren't going to be as in-depth. Nova would be the first show in the soft reboot, following Richard Rider attempting to rebuild the Nova Corps alongside new recruit Sam Alexander. They investigate a disturbance within the Crunch, which is basically like the center of the universe, where the negative zone meets reality. This is of course revealed to be Annihilus and the Annihilation Wave, who annex and wipe out thousands of star systems. The show is left on a cliffhanger after the Nova Corps are unable to defeat Annihilus. The next movie is Black Panther: Shadows of Wakanda, and I really just chose that title because it was the best title card PNG I could find for Black Panther 3. This would introduce us to our new recast T'Challa, who rules Wakanda alongside his wife Storm. I'm really just kind of making this one up on the spot, so maybe like T'Challa has to go on some journey through the spirit realm, which somehow revives Achebe. Achebe was like a Wakandan farmer or something who was somehow wronged by the nation and led a revolution against it. He returns and does whatever his villain stuff is that he wants to do. Maybe he can reveal some shadows of Wakanda or something just so we can live up to that title card quota. I don't know, dog. I just want to see T'Challa and Storm together. Throw Namor into the movie too. Next is Spider-Man Back in Black, which would be the culmination of the street-level Kingpin story. After one of Fisk's anti-vigilante task force officers shoots Ned, the symbiote fully takes over Peter's mind, causing him to go on a rampage, violently taking on Kingpin's armada. Why Ned? I don't know. I just kind of wanted Ned to die. In the comics, it's Aunt May, and I don't think Peter would have as much of a strong reaction to Ned's death. Like, I honestly don't really think he'd give a shit. He'd probably care a bit. Like if we went around the circle and Peter was given the talking stick and asked, to mention one good thing and one bad thing about his day, I feel like Ned getting gunned down would probably be more likely to, get listed as one of the bad things. But it doesn't have to be Ned. Someone Peter's close to just has to die. Oh, you also might be wondering why it's called Spider-Man Back in Black, if this is Peter's first time wearing the symbiote. I don't know. It's just the name of the comic, and I needed a title. It's not that deep. Maybe it's just like a nod to a new adaptation of the symbiote, or maybe it's just a reference to Peter's favorite Led Zeppelin song. Who cares? Stop thinking about it. Anyways, Peter takes on Kingpin's crime syndicate, fighting villains like Hammerhead, Crime Master, and Silvermane. He's about to kill Hammerhead when Daredevil stops him, Spider-Man and Daredevil fight, ending with Matt convincing Peter to get rid of the symbiote. But in the final battle when Spider-Man and Daredevil team up to fight Kingpin, we learn that the symbiote never made Peter ruthless. It just brought out that repressed anger in him. Peter is still incredibly angry and violent, almost killing Kingpin before Matt steps in. His brashness goes over the top, leading him to accidentally, indirectly killing an innocent bystander. Kingpin is defeated, but it's nowhere close to a happy ending. Shock completely takes over Peter's body. He isn't even able to speak by the end of the movie. And due to his actions throughout the film, New York City no longer stands by him. The final show of Phase 7 is West Coast Avengers, and this is one I would be absolutely thrilled about if it got announced. I want to take this time to say that Wonder Man was by far my favorite MCU show. Simon Williams was already tied for my second favorite Marvel character before watching, and my love for the character has just been reignited. I'm actually so upset that it's over, and I just don't want to stop thinking or talking about it. It has a great soundtrack too. Everything about it was just perfect. This show would essentially act as Wonder Man Season 2. It would take place in Hollywood and follow Simon being forced to work for the DODC after breaking Trevor out if he doesn't want them to expose his secret. The mission they put him on is very hard for him though, because he's forced to take out his own brother, Eric Williams, who is revealed to be secretly operating as the villain Grim Reaper. To help him take on his brother, Simon is aided by She-Hulk, Hawkeye, Tigra, Ant-Man, and the US Agent. Trevor is also a big part of the show because you can't split him and Simon up. Best duo in the MCU. By the end, Simon refuses to be a soldier for the DODC, sacrificing his Hollywood career. They reveal his secret, but She-Hulk represents him in court and is able to successfully abolish the doorman clause. Since Simon is now a high-profile actor, studios still decide to hire him, and his powers are now an asset for acting. The penultimate movie of Phase 7 is Captain America: Sentinels of Liberty. This would follow both Sam Wilson and the recast Steve Rogers, who are both Captain America. The two of them take on Dr. Faustus, who plans on unleashing a virus that only affects people with the X gene and kills them. So basically, this movie would be about Steve and Sam trying to save mutants. The Serpent Society would also play a role because it's a crime they haven't been used yet. Also, snakes on rakes. Miles Teller's Iron Man would also have a major part in this movie because I don't know where else to put him in this phase, and I think his relationship with the new Steve Rogers should be fleshed out. The final film in Phase 7 is Marvel Studios' Annihilation. This would be an adaptation of the Annihilation Wave event and serve as the big crossover for this phase. The Fantastic Four, X-Men, West Coast Avengers, and Avengers, who consist of the two Captain Americas, Iron Man, Thor, Hulk, Black Panther, and Captain Marvel, all team up to take on Annihilus. Henry Peter Gyrick and the DODC would also serve as an antagonistic force throughout the film, attempting to subdue the X-Men. And that's it, I guess. That is the end of that video. I hope you enjoyed, because if you did, it means you're going to subscribe and comment about how great I am for giving half-assed plots of films that have been pitched like 60 times. I seriously would appreciate it if y'all would subscribe though. It's what a real snake on a rake would do. Anyways, that's it. Bye, I love you.